All right, so we're on the third and fourth graph. How to make a histogram, how to make a box plot. So the histogram should be easy enough. All you're really going to do is highlight from the column heading on down the line till you capture all the data, including the column heading. You don't want the names associated with it. That would be more for a bar chart. All right, we just want the raw data here. So I'm going to go to Insert, Chart. Fortunately, it assumed that I wanted the histogram of age at inauguration on the bottom. I'm going to resize to fit. And I don't see labels on my vertical axis, so I'm going to go to Customize, Chart and Axis Titles. I'm going to switch it over to vertical axis and type in frequency. All right. And sometimes it's that easy. All right, that's how you make a histogram on Google Sheets. The box plot's a little bit more complicated. So we need to have the 5-number summary and a label that represents what that 5-number summary is for. I color coded to break up the data set based off of the quartiles, but you really don't need that. That was just more of a way for me to check to make sure the numbers we come up here make sense. So I'm going to type equals min, highlight all the values. Now you see I went min from Y3 to Y32. If you leave it uncapped, so get rid of the 32, and don't accept the suggestion, so get rid of that, you'll have the minimum in the data set that begins with Y3. And if I were to add more points to it down the line, for example, let's put like a 50 there, so you would make an adjustment, right? So it knows that any value that I put in this column now is going to be relevant to the calculation. Lower quartile is equal to quartile. You have quartile, EXC, and INC. We want EXC. We want to input the data. Again, you can leave it uncapped. And then you want to tell it which quartile you want. So I'm looking for the first quartile, so I'll put a 1 in there. And it'll compute the lower quartile. And again, if I throw another couple of values in there, I'll put something extreme. Maybe a few extreme values. See, it's ever so slightly changing the lower quartile, but that is correct. All right. Median, that's an easy one. Just type in equals median. Odds are, if you type the name of the thing that you're looking for, you'll get a suggestion that fits. Right. Again, I'm going to uncap it. So I have my median, my upper quartile is next. So that's going to be the same as this calculation. So I can just copy in here. If you ever want to copy a function, don't copy the cell. Don't just do it like this. Go up into the function bar, copy it there, and then paste it there in the cell that you're interested in, and just make any necessary adjustments. So a 3 instead of a 1. And then the maximum goes back. It's very similar to the minimum, so max equals max. Go on down the line, uncap it. All right. So I'm removing any reference to an upper boundary. Right. So I'm saying it can go from Y3 to Y a million. Right. So I'm going to hit enter, lock it in. Now I have my maximum. Then I'm going to highlight this table. You see, including the title for the data points, the temperature, and then insert chart. There's one that's called a candlestick chart. We're going to grab that. It's all the way down under other. If you're familiar with a box plot, this is what one looks like. Maybe you don't like the scale. I don't really love the scale. So I'm going to edit. Under customize, vertical axis, because it's really stretched out in a vertical direction. I'm going to make the minimum value something like 60. And the maximum value, I think maximum 80 was fine, so I'm going to leave that as is. And now when I click out of there, I have a box plot that looks much more typical of what you would expect. And we can get an idea of whether the data is symmetrical or skewed in some way.